From WNDU, your breaking news and weather authority, this is News Center 16 at 6.
Good evening, I'm Maureen McFadden.
And I'm Terry McFadden. The Decision 2016 focus is squarely on Indiana, as one of the two Republicans actively competing in the state spends his afternoon in Michiana.
Ted Cruz was in Elkhart earlier, and now the Cruz Fiorela campaign is just wrapping up an event at Century Center in South Bend. That's where Mark Peterson is. So Mark, what's the rally been like?
Actually, the speeches just ended. Ted Cruz is still in the House, if you will, pressing flesh, shaking hands. You know, Donald Trump is very close to locking down the Republican nomination for president, and the folks here know that. Cruz's new running mate put it in Hoosier speak by saying, hey, remember the NCAA National Championship basketball game? Think how Villanova must have felt as those final seconds ticked down. Perhaps no candidate has spent more time, more money in the Hoosier state than has Ted Cruz. Perhaps Indiana has become his do or die state, his last chance to make an impression.
And we will pass a simple flat tax. That lets every one of us fill out our taxes on a postcard. And when we do that, we should abolish the IRS.
At a local drop-in, Cruz talked about serving on a Notre Dame commission on Catholic education, which he found strange because he's not Catholic, but he said he had tremendous respect for parochial schools. In fact, he called school choice the civil rights issue of the 21st century. So, time winding down this trip to South Bend. Ted Cruz still on hand, pressing the flesh, trying to create votes. Again, Indiana, 30 delegates at stake if Cruz can take Indiana, 3 more per congressional district, guys.
All right, thank you. Mark Peterson reporting live from the Century Center.
And the Cruz ticket spent the afternoon in Elkhart County at a not-so-typical diner stop along the trail. News Center 16's Tricia Harte caught up with the campaign at Lucase's on County Road 17.
Terry, it was a lot more meeting and greeting than actually stopping and eating anything. However, the Lucases said they sent him away with some antipasta, some dessert, and a little bit of their homemade pasta, so he won't be hungry there. But as for the rest of the supporters outside the restaurant, the Elkhart stop was a chance to snap a photo, shake a hand, and even have their questions answered if they spoke loud enough. Cruz's bus rolled up to a round of applause, introducing the area to Carlo Fiorela, his would-be VP, should he snag the nomination. One woman outside asked the senator what he was going to do about the nation's drug problem. Cruz talked about his sister's overdose death and his father's alcoholism and his plans for controlling the border.
It's got to be a combination of two things. One, on the government policy. Right now, our southern border is completely unsecured.
That's right.
And the Mexican drug cartels are bringing in tons and tons of drugs that are destroying our kids. As president, I'm going to fix that. We are going to secure the border. We're going to shut down the drug trade coming off that border, and that is going to dramatically reduce the flow of drugs into this country. Job creation comes from small businesses. It's places like this restaurant. It's places like the pool company next door. I mean, that's where 2/3 of all new jobs come from. And the key that I think both Reagan and JFK understood, when you cut taxes and lift regulations on small businesses, on job creators, we see millions and millions of new high-paying jobs.
Now, the Lucases didn't know why they were chosen. It's a pretty popular restaurant in business for over 30 years in the area. Frank Lucase is a Republican commissioner for the county as well.
All right, and were there any protesters?
You know, there weren't. They were ready for them. One woman repeatedly asked and shouted about the senator's stance on gender identity issues. Not a true protest, just wanting some questions answered. Another young man brought the Communist Manifesto. He said it was a joke, just wanted Cruz to sign it, which Cruz did oblige, writing on the front pages, millions have suffered because of this. So pretty quick response there.
All right, Trish, thanks a lot.
And breaking Decision 2016 news out of South Bend. News Center 16 has learned Donald Trump will hold a rally at Century Center at 7 o'clock Monday night. Doors will open for the Trump event at 4 p.m. Monday, and you can get tickets for the Monday event on his campaign website. Meanwhile, Trump claims that if he wins the Indiana primary on Tuesday, the Republican race is over. Well, Trump told supporters in Evansville that he refused to take time off from the campaign trail because of how important the Hoosier primary is. And he once again joined at the rally by legendary former Indiana basketball coach Bob Knight. Trump says Cruz's choice of Carly Fiorela as a running mate won't help his campaign, especially since Cruz has no mathematical chance to win a majority of the pledged delegates. And pivoting to a possible general election matchup, Trump said he'll be a better advocate for women than Hillary Clinton would be. And News Center 16 is your home for Decision 2016 coverage. Follow us on air and online at WNDU.com for the latest on the Indiana primary.
Governor Mike Pence is joining with Indiana lawmakers in fighting meth manufacturing in the state. Today, the governor stopped at a Rochester pharmacy where he signed 3 new bills into law. The laws would give pharmacists more discretion when selling cold medicine containing pseudoephedrine, an ingredient used in the meth-making process. While pharmacies already control and monitor the sale of Sudafed, the new laws will make it tougher for convicted felons and first-time visitors to a pharmacy to buy Sudafed or similar products.
A pharmacist is the trusted voice. It's not just simply somebody working in a store. It's someone who knows you, knows your family, has a history, your medical history and your needs. And so this really honors that professional role and their role as a leader in the community in a way that empowers them to be a full partner in combating drug abuse and addiction with regard to meth in Indiana.
The new laws go into effect July 1st. They allow a pharmacy worker to deny the sale of Sudafed to anyone without a prescription or people they don't know. Well, pretty cloudy for many areas in Michiana. Are we in a rainy pattern, Mike?
Well, Terry, let's call it a cloudy pattern. I don't think there's any doubt about that. At least for now, the rain has moved away. You can see, except for a couple of spots in northeastern LaGrange County, still a brief shower there, but we still have a chance later tonight and first thing tomorrow, perhaps for another shower. In the meantime, an hour-by-hour forecast for the evening hours. Just cloudy skies. You won't need your sunglasses at all if you're traveling around the area. And it looks like maybe toward midnight we could end up seeing some very light showers moving back in. Temperature by then about 49 degrees. We'll have the rest of your forecast right through this coming weekend in a few minutes.
Mike, thank you. The former GLBT Resource Center of Michiana opened its doors under a new name this morning, now called the LGBTQ Center. The nonprofit debuted its renovated space, logo, and mission. The executive director says it's the beginning of a new era.
I mean, I went to John Adams High School right across the street, and the center was here then, but I didn't know it existed. And I think about my younger self and how I really could have benefited from this space. And the youth group particularly inspires me. They're going through a lot of difficult things, but they're also crossing into new territory that we've never seen before.
Mayor Buttigieg also spoke at the event and took part in the ribbon cutting. As he addressed the crowd, he said he believes the Resource Center will help save lives. The nonprofit is open for support groups, programs, and drop-ins.
South Bend city leaders are looking for buyers for 2 downtown lots. The Redevelopment Commission has listed 2 lots along Lafayette Boulevard for sale. One is a parking lot north of the former Schilling's Camera Shop. The other is along Lafayette and Monroe across the street from Four Winds Field. So far, no one has bid on either property.
The city's belief is that, at some point there's going to be interest in those lots there from developers, and we'd rather have the properties ready and ready to go in terms of negotiation at that point, rather than having to get interest and then go down a long process that takes a little bit of time.
The city will wait 30 days before moving forward with plans to sell the lots.
It's construction season when those orange cones seem to be everywhere you turn, and folks are about to see more of them this year. INDOT just announced they're investing more than $45 million to modernize I-94 between the Illinois and Michigan state lines. The Restore I-94 initiative would bring upgrades to pavement, rehabilitate bridges, improve drainage, and enhance traffic and safety. INDOT says that stretch of interstate sees some of the highest traffic volume in the country, and it's resulted in a lot of wear and tear. Expect construction through the fall of 2016.
It's being billed as the best musical of the century, and if you're looking for a great laugh, the Book of Mormon is outrageously funny but also very explicit. The religious satire pokes fun at Mormons and the Church of Latter-day Saints. The co-creators are also the creators of the animated comedy South Park, so that gives you an idea of the type of explicit humor and language you'll be hearing. A lot of us from the newsroom saw the show last night and found the music catchy and the performers amazing. It had the audience laughing for 2.5 nonstop hours. Having said that, if you do not want to hear offending songs towards God, even in comedy, you probably won't like the show. In fact, Cody Jamison Strand, who plays one of the main elders, was a little worried himself. He told me today his dad is a pastor.
I grew up in a very religious household, and when I was first auditioning for the show, my mom, I called her and I said, "Mom, I'm auditioning for the Book of Mormon." And she said, "Okay, we won't tell your dad about this." And, you know, that says, one, she wasn't so stoked about it, and two, she had no faith that I would actually get the job. And then the next conversation I had with my mom was, "Mom, I got it." And she's like, "Okay, we'll just ease your father into this."
But instead, his pastor father, like most parents, didn't ease into it. In fact, his dad has seen the Book of Mormon 18 times. As for how Mormons have responded to the musical, Cody says the church has taken out ads in the playbill reading. You've seen the play, now read the book. The Book of Mormon runs through May 1st at the Morris. We have the showtimes up on the Big Red Bar.
And you enjoyed it?
They really did a great job. I mean, some of the stuff was, they do push the limit, but it was entertaining.
All right. Well, still ahead, rain is on the way, but will it last through the weekend? Mike has our Storm Team 16 forecast next.
Plus, superhero masks and caps were passed around Memorial Hospital today. A look at the many faces the gesture brought smiles to. Stay with us.
Tracking inconvenient weather where you live. Storm Team 16 is your weather authority.
While it is frustrating being this close to the warm air and not getting any of it, we're only at 52 in South Bend. You can see Kokomo's 55, 69 in Indy, and it's in the low 70s just south of there. Now, I would keep this weather over what they had just northwest of Indianapolis, though. An apparent tornado touchdown. Kind of a freak occurrence in this situation, and those big thunderstorms moved through east central Indiana with a couple of additional tornado warnings. And so we'll have to wait and see if that was an actual tornado or not and how much damage. But there was definitely damage in that area. So I think we'll keep the chilly air if it keeps us from getting any of that type of weather. And we told you about the Book of Mormon. There's a live picture from our new downtown South Bend Skyview camera of the Morris. Lots of folks will be filtering in there over the next couple of hours. 52 degrees right now. By the way, this is a view from the East Bank townhomes, just so you know, and we'll be able to see much of downtown with this brand new camera. 77% relative humidity. Winds are easterly at only 8 miles per hour. So not much going on across the area. We're just cloudy. We're kind of chilly, obviously, for this time of the year. Our normal high would be about 64. We're in the low to mid 50s right now all across Michiana. 16 Doppler max showing a lingering shower or two there in a couple of spots in LaGrange County. This batch is moving away, but we will have a slight chance overnight tonight for a little bit more coming in because there's wraparound moisture with that upper level low pressure system sitting near Minneapolis. So here's what the future looks like with 16 Future Track. We do have an area of low pressure that caused those thunderstorms that are now still occurring in southwestern Ohio. Those occurred over central Indiana. That's now moving away, but again, all that moisture is just lingering. We're stuck with the clouds. You can see by midnight, Future Track bringing in some spotty showers again. A lot of us, I think, will stay dry tonight and first thing tomorrow, but a few areas will see a brief shower, and then by afternoon, I'm keeping my fingers crossed on some partly sunny skies. So let's say peaks of sunshine is what we're hoping for. High pressure trying to build in, but it stays to the north of us. Next storm system coming our way out of the southwest. Here's the time, or watch the time below the line. 7 a.m. we're still dry, maybe a little sunshine. By 10 a.m. it's showing the rain just to the southwest of Pulaski County. By noon it's into our southwestern areas south of US 30. And then by the middle of the afternoon it's covering most of Michiana. So it looks like late afternoon and evening a very good chance for widespread rain. This area of low pressure moves just by to the south of us, and we will be stuck with at least an occasional shower as we head into the day Sunday. Here's my Storm Team 16 forecast for all of Michiana for tonight. Cloudy, even chillier, a light shower in some spots, low temperature down to 40. 7-day planning forecast. We'll call tomorrow a green day, although it will start off kind of dreary. I'm hoping for peaks of sunshine. 59. Yellow days over the weekend, rain by later in the afternoon Saturday night and Sunday, still an occasional shower, and we dry off and warm up a little bit as we head into next week. So the umbrella will come in handy this weekend. Barbara Crouch of Berrien Springs, the latest winner of a Storm Team 16 umbrella. We'll be contacting Barbara to come and pick up her umbrella. And if you'd like to win one, log on to WNDU.com, click on the umbrella giveaway banner and fill out the entry form. You can also send us a postcard with all of your information, including your birth date, to the address on your screen. And if you've already entered, just watch News Center 16. See if we announce your name. We'll be giving away another umbrella in every newscast right through the end of the month of May. Hopefully we get some drier, warmer weather by the end of May.
Yeah, exactly.
And we will.
All right, Mike, thank you. Well, coming up, we'll tell you about a mission to give a hat to every child diagnosed with cancer in 2016.
Plus, the NFL draft begins tonight. Angelo breaks down who could go in the first round from Notre Dame. That's coming up in sports.
The likes of Iron Man, Superman, and Batwoman invaded Memorial Hospital. No, the Comic-Con convention isn't in town. Rather, it was a way to bring the spirits up of kids battling cancer. Love Your Melon is a national organization that helps fund pediatric cancer research. And the help of local colleges, student organizations sell beanies 1 for 1, meaning when you buy a beanie online, 1 beanie gets donated to a child with cancer. For the last several months, the Notre Dame, Valparaiso, and Michigan campuses have passed out beanies to kids at Memorial on a monthly basis.
So the beanies, it's called Love Your Melon, so obviously referring to your head. So the beanies are comfortable in that when children are going through chemotherapy, the hat doesn't itch. And they also have started making baseball caps. All students love something that they can have fun doing too. And it's just as much an amazing experience for us as it is for the kids.
Love Your Melon was founded in 2012, and to date, more than 54,000 hats have been donated.
The YMCA is on a mission to keep kids safe in the water, and one of the best ways to avoid a tragedy is with swim lessons. Michiana Swims is an educational program that the YMCA runs in South Bend through Washington High School. Free lessons are given to second graders at 4 primary centers throughout South Bend. The kids are bused 8 times to the high school for their swim lessons, and the YMCA provides all the equipment needed along with their instructors.
News Center 16 Sports with Angelo DiCarlo.
And a lot of college football players hoping to be swimming in some dough later tonight, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the night they've been waiting for months. The speculation finally begins to end tonight as the NFL draft gets underway at 8 p.m. in Chicago. Tonight is just round 1, but plenty of guys with local ties could hear their name called. Concord High School alum Jason Spriggs has been rising up the mock draft boards. The IU alum could be a late first-round pick. He's 6'6", 300 pounds, freakishly athletic, and impressed scouts in his workouts. Spriggs is the 5th-ranked left tackle in the draft. He's looking to become the first Elkhart County player drafted since Goshen High's Rick Meyer in 1993. Now, Meyer is the last Notre Dame player drafted in the top 3. That drought could end tonight as well. Growing speculation that Notre Dame's Ronnie Stanley could be the first offensive tackle selected and could go number 3 to San Diego. If that happens, he'd join ND alums Chris Watt and Trevor Robinson on the Chargers offensive line, with Manti Te'o playing defense for San Diego as well. Notre Dame hasn't had a top 10 pick since Bryant Young went 7th in 1994. Notre Dame could have a second first-round pick taken in wide receiver Will Fuller. The Irish standout decided to leave school a year early to enter the NFL draft. He's being projected as a late first-round or early second-round selection. Fuller has blazing speed, as we all know, had 62 catches, 1,258 yards, and 14 touchdowns in his junior year at Notre Dame, leading the Irish in all 3 categories. And of course, there's the big question mark. Where will former Irish captain and linebacker Jalen Smith land after injury suffered against Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl? Most are projecting Smith to be a 3rd-round pick. That's a monster drop-off, since many believed he could have been the first overall selection if he didn't get hurt. Still a possibility the team determines Jalen is worth the risk and selects him tonight in the first round, but it is definitely the biggest unknown in this year's draft. And again, tonight is just round 1. The 2nd and 3rd rounds are tomorrow, with rounds 4 through 7 taking place on Saturday. Overall, Notre Dame could have up to 10 players drafted, which would be the most for them since 1994. The Cubs hosting the Brewers this afternoon at the friendly confines. Northsiders get it going out of the gate. Ben Zobrist singles to right in the first. Dexter Fowler. Chris Bryant scored 2-0 Cubs. Bryant, by the way, would later leave the game in the third inning after rolling his ankle. No update yet on his status as of this point. Second inning, David Ross at the plate, and he's crushing this one. It's going out of the ballpark. Cubs win 7-2. They are now a Major League best 16-5 on the season. Tigers hosting the A's. 4-2 Detroit in the fourth. Anthony goes, blasts a 2-run homer. The Tigers go on to win this one 7-3. It is their third straight victory. So pretty good for the Tigers. Cubs and White Sox all really playing well, at least this week. Tigers finally start getting it going.
Yeah, they got to go. But the White Sox have the best record in the American League, right?
Yeah, Cubs and White Sox are the first two teams to 16 wins.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Well, Michael, tell us when the rain will start next.
Well, unfortunately, we're stuck with the clouds most of the time right through the weekend. I'm hoping for peaks of sunshine late tomorrow and early Saturday. Otherwise, a couple of showers moving away in our eastern areas right now. Wider view does show some light showers coming across northern Illinois, and those could come our way during the middle of the night, but not much rain tonight or early tomorrow.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Right.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
We'll see you back here at 11.